So hello. My name is Lucy Wesson, and I spent 2 months at the University of Chicago studying psycholinguistics and cognitive psychology. Um, kind of. So here we go. Okay, so this is the beautiful campus of the University of Chicago, and up there is the Museum of Science and Industry, where we occasionally ran studies to recruit more participants. And these are all of the lovely people I worked with, and this is my mentor, Ashley Lung, who ran the Tangram study. So we were studying referential communication within psycholinguistics, which essentially means that we were looking at the different modes in which people talk about and refer to concepts and objects in conversation. And one way in which we were able to do that is through our ability to form conceptual packs, which essentially means that we form agreements through implicit negotiation and conversation. And this negotiation and conversation allows us to share what we know and create kind of a common ground for to further facilitate communication in the future. And many experts say that our ability to form conceptual packs is absolutely essential to effective communication. So it's a little blown up. So the study I was working on was called tangrams, after these geometrical figures right here. And these geometrical figures. And we were studying parent-child communication and how that affects a child's ability to form packs. We were studying 4, 6, and 8-year-old children and looking at their ability, and we also observed the age in which they were able to form packs arose. So this was kind of how the game was set up. We would use these novel characters to elicit descriptive characterizations of the images, I guess, and the parents would eventually form packs with their children. And so they would start off the game by describing what was inside the blue box to their child, and then so that the child could choose that picture on their iPad. And then the roles would switch, and it would continue on like that for about 40 pairs of tangrams. And as they saw those pairs repeatedly, the parent and children formed packs out of a need for efficiency, essentially. And so the 4-year-olds had a very difficult time with this, as there's really nothing efficient about a 4-year-old. But the 8-year-olds were actually very proficient in their abilities to form conceptual packs, and the 6-year-olds' abilities varied. And so these are the steps that I had to follow to run the entire study. First off, I would collect informed consent, as you have to do in every single psychological study. And during that time, I would ask the parents to fill out a demographic sheet to control for any socioeconomic or educational influences. And while we did try and control for those factors, we found that they didn't really influence one's abilities to form packs, as it is such an essential and innate ability in communication. And then after that, I would just set up the game, make sure everything's connected to the servers. I would give instructions, answer any questions. I would monitor the game, but not participate in any way, so as to not influence any of the discourse between the parent and the child. And then once the game was over, I would give compensation and explain anything that the parents wanted to know. So the program we used to kind of organize all of our data was called DataView. And so we had to transcribe and code everything that was said in the videos that we recorded, and then we would export them into little CSV files that would then take all of the information that we wrote down and organize them really nicely into an Excel spreadsheet. And that helped us with data analysis, as everything was really organized and clean. And so so the study's still running, so I can't go over any really conclusive findings. But I do want to talk about why conceptual packs are important in language, as they do just kind of seem like something not very interesting at all. And so when examining conceptual packs in relation to evolutionary theories, it's really interesting to see how conceptual packs were so vital to our survival as a species, and how they helped us become such advanced human beings today. And when examining them in relation to social verification theories, it's really interesting to see how we have such an innate desire to be in control of how we are understood, and how conceptual packs really give us a way to be in control of a collaborative process within communication. And then, more importantly, relating to my study, age and social awareness plays a big factor in one's ability to make conceptual packs, as children, really young children who have no social awareness, are not able to perceive what other people might think, and therefore have a really difficult time considering what information they have to put out into the world. And so yeah, I was living in Chicago, I was living in Hyde Park all alone, and I found that to be very boring. So I spent all of my free time, going up to the Loop. I saw plays, I went to Chinatown, I spent all my time at the library, and all of my time at the Art Institute of Chicago. I got in for free because I was technically a Chicagoan resident, and oh my God, I loved it. It was so cool. And then I also had a bunch of time checking out the music scene, and Chicago is vibrant. And this is me at my first country concert, absolutely panicking. It was an experience. And so yeah, advice for future interns: read everything. You guys are going to be handed piles upon piles of papers, and it's great to be informed and to really be knowledgeable about what you're learning. And then also use it as an opportunity to look for what you like in college. Most of you will be on college campuses, so it's a great time to sort of figure out the vibe you kind of like. And then always say yes. Of course, keep this within reason, but always take the opportunities that are presented to you, as they are truly unique and will change your life. Thank you, guys.